Hello, everyone, and welcome to a special Baltimore by night. As you can see, we are down half our crew. As we're recording this, it is on what is known as Holy Saturday, which is between Good Friday, Easter, and in the middle of Passover, essentially, and Ramadan still going on, maybe. Yeah,
It's
so a
a
lot of
holy day during Ramadan as well.
so a lot of things are happening today. So half our people are doing things. So the only people who showed up are the godless heathens. Um,
Amen.
um, so because of that, we're going to be having a special. We're doing a historical one. Now, normally I do these between like arcs and stuff, but perfect time for this. So join us as we travel back to 1789, a good year, a year when George Washington is elected the first president under the modern Constitution. Prior to that, the other was Confederation. If you want to know more details about that, Wikipedia is your friend. It's also around the time that France's those little issues in France are starting to flare up. Yeah, something about revolution starting or something. Nothing important that will not affect history at all. But we are not there. We're not one of the groups who's going to play in the French Revolution like everyone else does. We're instead still in Baltimore. But at this time, Baltimore City and Baltimore County are one and the same. It's just Baltimore, so people don't get confused. Um, and with that, we're actually all playing special characters tonight. They are playing. We're playing basically the fledglings who would eventually be Ebenezer, John Thomas, and the sister that no one talks about, Lucinda. So, does anyone want? Let's go around and say who we all playing. I'm playing the storyteller. Yep, yep. Katrina.
I'm playing Ebenezer Brady, uh, farrier and eventual sire to Elizabeth in our Baltimore by Night game. My character.
Jeanette.
Hi, I am playing John William Thomas. Currently a carpenter shopkeep. Eventually will sire Sophia and cause other drama amongst the coterie in Baltimore in present day.
And Luke.
Can you hear me now?
We can hear
Yes.
Okay, that's good because I did introduce myself first, but nobody reacted.
you. Ah, yeah, we didn't hear you.
I'm playing Lucinda she's a singer in a hotel and was turned by one of the same people basically.
Yes, all three of them are brood siblings. I can never remember the term for all those who share the sire. All of you are childers of Elizabeth of Colomborg, who we have met in the modern times, but this is in the past. So we will begin at night, as every vampire story does, because the sun kills you. As you travel to the house of a mortal that you all are affiliated with, a Joseph Caldwell. Joseph Caldwell was a lieutenant in the company um, during the Revolutionary War that John Thomas, as a young lad, and Ebenezer, as a older lad, served in, as they are both veterans of that war. Um, and Joseph Caldwell is also the man who would end up freeing Lucinda from slavery by purchasing her and then just freeing her effectively immediately after the purchase. So you're going to their house. I do have a house in the background that's supposed to be 18th century Baltimore-ish style for mansions. I'm not sure if it's like a more modern one built in the style or one from that time period. Uh, I just Googled an image, which essentially will become the house that one Elizabeth Caldwell will be born in, and whose family will be there. And currently will be John Thomas's. house. So you all received a letter from one of from Joseph's daughter, Constance, requesting you all come. The letter essentially said that her father always spoke of the three of you, and that something has happened, and she would like you to get there as soon as possible. Now, since you all were living in the same region, you got those letters pretty quickly. It wasn't like you were months away. So you arrive, by horse, carriage, or just walking.
So, question, at this time period, has our like little bit of a rivalry started between Ebenezer and John yet?
That's up to you. You're playing them as fledglings. That's the other thing. These three are fledglings. They have like 6 months or so of vampiric life under their belts.
Oh, I think we're still best of friends.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And it'll never change.
Never.
Never.
Nothing can break up that friendship.
So you arrive. As you arrive, you see a one of the servants walk out, greet you. I'll say you all end up arriving at the same time. Just make it easy on everyone. He's walks out. He's like,
Ebenezer arrives on horseback wearing like just the regular trousers and traveling jacket.
Same.
Lucinda is not wearing trousers. She is dressed at the time, but for country travel. So more sturdier, not flashy.
Yeah, are
clothes.
we in the city or the county or
remember,
out
city and city and county are the one and the same, but this would
what
be
would be the
outside.
city?
Yeah, this would be outside the metropolitan area.
Okay.
Yeah, just
okay.
look at the picture. There's no big buildings back there.
That
Not
doesn't
even a
mean
sidewalk.
anything.
I choose to believe it does.
Yeah, so you arrive. So it's like, Mr. Ebenezer, Mr. John, Miss Lucinda, please follow me. We were expecting you. It's been a while since you have paid a visit.
I'll follow her inside now that I've been invited.
Yeah, we've been summoned.
Does it look like anyone else has come?
No, so far you just see the same handful of servants, as this one leads you to a sitting room like thing, where people back in the old days hung out before TV.
Sure.
Yeah. Like a little fireplace, a couple benches, or sofa kind of things. If
I
you want
remove my cap before I go in.
If anyone watching this wants historical accuracy on things, I'm sorry.
No, sir. We're winging this.
Wikipedia is your friend.
Please donate.
Yes. So you walk in and you see Constance. Now, last time all of you saw her, she was a little bit younger, but she is now probably about 17. So, getting up there in age. That's a joke. People actually lived normal lifespans once you manage to hit adulthood. And she's like, oh, hello. I'm so glad you've arrived. I know there wasn't much detail in the letters, but my father is missing, and he always spoke highly of you three and said that if ever something happened, to contact you.
Well, we would do anything for Joseph as he would for us. Where did you see him last?
I saw him
Tell us
out.
everything.
Last I saw him, he was going out, like yesterday, he was going out to the he went out to the stable area to check if the horses, and I heard a commotion, and when the servants went to investigate, he was gone, and it looked like there was a struggle, but he's nowhere to be seen, and I called, we tried to contact the local sheriff and stuff, but it'll be a couple days before he can arrive. If only we had some sort of larger police force that could arrive quicker. That won't be invented for another century.
There'd be no downside to that, surely.
Of course. So yeah.
Well, maybe see the stable. Perhaps there's something that was left
Yes.
behind that we could track.
Just follow me. Need you
Lucinda will walk forward first.
None of us have anything in survival, do we?
Good question.
I have one.
Okay,
Nope.
that's something.
And have teamwork, so if we work together, we each could add one to it.
Ooh.
Ooh.
And
That's
if you
actually a
have
thing that
one.
all of us have, even in the modern day, but
Oh,
we
really?
forget about it constantly.
I don't think I
Yeah,
learned it.
we're just never together enough to use it.
We don't use our skills that much. We're so
No,
good
we
we don't
don't.
need skills.
We just don't roll.
That's true.
Hey, only roll when it's dramatically appropriate.
No. I'm fine with that.
Do you
I'm
want me to
happy
make a
with the way
roll?
that game's going.
No. I would
I-
prefer not to roll because I'm me.
Yeah, I'll get all
I
the
like to
ones
roll
go.
when the numbers are like 8 or above dice.
Hmm.
If I can roll a whole lot of dice at once, I think that's good.
I like
So-
to roll when I can roll a fistful of clear.
Yeah, otherwise, what's the point?
Rocks.
So you arrive at the
Otherwise,
stables.
what's the point?
You see a couple of the posts knocked down. You see like grass and hay just strewn about. You do see a horse laying there dead. And so she's like, oh God. She's like, I servants told me that it was horrible, but I haven't really been out here, but
I will take her by the shoulder and turn her away and say, no, you don't need to look. We'll look into this.
thank you. I'll be at the house. She turns to him and is like, I'm trying to think of a name of the. I can't say her name. Jack here will assist you if you need anything. She
Got it.
walks back to the
Yes,
house.
thank you.
When it's us and Jack
Mm-hmm.
and her and Constance. When Jack turns with Lucinda and Ebenezer toward the stable, can I take a moment and turn Constance so that I make eye contact? I want to cloud her memory of what she saw inside the door, so she doesn't like remember that horrific scene.
Okay, you can do that pretty easily. It's I don't think you need a roll for that or anything, right?
It's the dice pool would be charisma plus dominate versus her wits and resolve.
Yeah, that's
Isn't that if she's resisting or if
I
she's
think
aware?
so. Yeah,
Yeah.
I didn't look it up the detail. Yeah.
Yeah, because she's neither resisting nor kindred, so it just kind of works.
Okay. Yeah, I just that moment of what she saw within the doors, so she just basically doesn't have to live with that sight. I'm still a nice person right now.
Yeah,
For
I'm
now.
become jaded by history.
We have a Jack to get angry at and knock around if we have to.
Yeah, you just
I don't
Servant
trust him.
Jack serious like as Mistress said, if you need anything, I
I'm
will
gonna
assist
go
you.
over to.
Oh, she froze.
It must have got
gonna-
very cold. Hmm?
You
Hi,
froze
yeah,
there, but-
hello.
Mhm.
I'm gonna go over to the horse. And I guess animal kin wouldn't work. It would be medicine to try and see how the horse was killed, right?
Yeah. Yep. Medicine.
All right.
I have
I'm
a
not
point if
great
you
at
want
that,
to
but I'll
get my help
try
and get
it.
an extra die.
Sure. Oh yeah, why the heck not? I can roll rouse check to try and add extra dice. I'll do that too.
You can get aroused.
I'm hungry.
Oh.
Well,
Because
at
Ebenezer
least
like
just
horse
hungry.
blood.
So
And blood search gives you 2 dice. Well, Tits on a stick. Okay, well, I got one success
One success.
out of 4 dice.
Yeah, so doing some in the background. So one success.
Yeah, I got 110.
Hmm. Okay, so
Yeah, I figure Ebenezer it doesn't have any skill in like veterinary science or anything, but
mhm.
he's familiar enough with horses to understand like simple injuries that a normal horse would take from
Yeah.
different kind of things.
Yeah, as you're looking, you do know what you can tell is that the wounds are not natural-ish, but it looks like it was done by claws or teeth.
Does this look familiar to wounds that I've seen before?
You've seen similar wounds a couple years ago.
Okay. And it was just Ebenezer that was involved in that, right? Not okay.
Hmm. Lucinda's going to question Jack
Mhm.
because they said that they heard some commotion. I want to
Mhm.
know if more details about that.
Well, there was commotion, and Miss Constance said that she was hearing things from the stable where her father was. So I and one of the other servants rushed out. I did grab a axe that we had laying, a woodman's axe, just in case there was any like burglary going on. And when I got here, I didn't see the master, but I did see like the scene as you're seeing now and lots of stuff and heard things off in the distance, but we didn't really pursue because we were honestly not quite sure what was going on, and were more looking around to see if there was if the master had been injured and was around. But by the time we called the rest of the servants and stuff to start looking, we
Mhm.
couldn't find anything.
And there were no guests on the premises that you know of?
None that were planned or had introduced themselves. So if anyone was here, they were an uninvited guest.
Mm. No missing horses?
The dead one in front of you.
No, he's right there. We know exactly where that horse is.
Mhm. That is true. No, there was only the 3 horses, and we took the other 2 away to um up to the house more so that they weren't
They wouldn't be around a
trotting.
dead horse. They wouldn't like that.
Yeah.
So nothing was stolen. The only thing missing is Joseph.
Yes, which I guess in a way you could say he was stolen. Yeah. Some sort of bandit or napper or some sign, maybe. The odd thing is, if it was a kidnapping or whatever, that no notes or anything have been delivered or anything. It's just unusual for that kind of thing.
How long has it been? Remind me how long it's been since this happened?
Maybe 40 hours or so,
Oh, it's only a couple days in.
less. So, but yeah, basically it happened like
Just shy of
yesterday-ish.
2 days.
Yeah. When we got everything, we wrote the notes and sent them out to the 3 of you and the
Mhm.
sheriff and a few others to help out. And you're the first ones really to arrive, thankfully.
So this happened what, around like dusk, right before sunset?
We heard it about 2 hours past the sunset. He was
Sorry, my dad
coming.
just came back and the dog's going nuts.
Yeah, that happens. Dogs love people. If it's locked up in the room, you should open the door so he frees himself. No, he's just being obnoxious.
Nope, he's just obnoxious.
Or just one more thing.
Mhm.
Has there been anyone asking around or new people that have been talking to Joseph recently?
There was about a week and a half ago group of gentlemen who did approach and to the house, and they were here for a day. They said they were travelers just coming through, and they were wondering if they could stay. And the master said that was okay for them.
Hmm.
So they just say that was a bit unusual, not like not unusual, but not something that never happens. Occasionally, we do get travelers through, and the nearest inn and tavern are a bit away, so
Mm-hmm.
we occasionally put them into the guest room.
Could have been scoping the place out.
How long before Mr. Caldwell's disappearance did the travelers leave and go on their way?
I think it might have been a difference of maybe 4 days or so. I'm having trouble remembering super specifics because it didn't seem noteworthy enough for me to memorize as much, but I
Mhm.
think that's about it.
Hmm. You came running when the commotion was noticed. Do you remember hearing the sounds of a coach leaving, horses riding off? Any perception of maybe figures leaving on foot?
I don't. I don't recall seeing anything like that. There was Christopher was also out here with us. He's the other servant. He may have seen something because when we both came and once we saw things, we kind of I went that direction. He went that direction looking for the master. So he may have seen something. I did not. If you want, I can go fetch him.
Yes.
That would be appreciated.
Okay, I'll go um get him, and we'll be here. Be back in a few moments. Just gotta think of where he would be this time.
One more
He's
thing before you go. Can you point us in the direction that you think the noise was after they left? Perhaps we could pick up a trail before you get back.
It was, and he just points in a
He
specific
points in a
direction.
direction. Okay.
Yeah, it's like I was hearing noises from there, but like I said, it was a very chaotic time. We were probably not thinking the most soundly. I know
Sure.
I also had partake of a few beers with
Libations.
dinners. Yeah, a few libations. But I wasn't expecting anything. We're breaking down for the night, so to speak. So then we go grab Christopher and we'll be sir. I am.
So, John, have you cobbled together any clues?
Not yet.
He's the cobbler, right?
No, I'm a carpenter.
Farrier was the other one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We were talking about a cobbler in a different situation. Okay, never
We
mind.
were.
Did
Yeah,
your
Ebenezer
farrier
is
any clues?
a cobbler of horses.
That's
I
true.
know
A
a
horse
good
cobbler.
Makes you horses.
I enjoy a good cobbler every now and then.
I enjoy a good apple cobbler. Peach cobbler is good as well. At least I did.
Well,
So,
I guess gone. I guess we could look around to see if there's any more obvious clues of like other signs of a struggle. Maybe they dropped something shiny in the hay or something.
do either of you have the ability to heighten your senses?
Nay.
Mm-hmm.
No.
No.
Neither do I.
We'll just have to trust on our normal senses.
Indeed. We
Slightly
search for
heightened.
clues.
Yes.
Search stuff for clues. I just gotta remember what's
Is that wits and awareness?
Ooh, a dice roll.
Yes, wits and awareness would be a good combo.
Excellent. What is my dice pool? My dice pool is... Wait, do we get a +2 for this if we're working together?
If the other person has the relevant skill.
Skill.
So
Okay.
I do not have anything in awareness.
I have
Ah,
something in awareness. I can assist you.
I have, yeah, my wits and awareness is 5 to begin with.
All right, then I'll teamwork at you, and you get a +1.
All right, so that means 6 dice. 6. All right. And I'm at 1 hunger. Rolling. So I rolled 3 successes on 6 dice.
So looking for clues.
We are. See if there was anything maybe left that will give us some idea.
As you're looking around, you do see a set of tracks, very kind of obscure in that because people walking and stuff kind of contaminate things, because this is it's a crime scene, keep everything perfectly, you know. But it does appear to be a large animal and maybe human sets. There's more than one. Looks like maybe there's 4 sets.
I will point them out to
Mm-hmm.
Ebenezer and Lucinda.
I'm going to look at them. Do I see like claws? Do they look like mammalian?
Why they don't look like snakes.
Reptilian?
They don't look like
There's no
a
snake footprints?
horse, I mean.
You know what? Yeah, they're not they're not horse.
Snake footprints.
Interesting. As you're looking, you hear a voice trying to go.
Slowly turn to look at the voice.
I turn and look.
You see a older, slightly larger gentleman. Is like, I'm Christopher. Jack said you wanted to ask me some things since I was also here. I was getting some wood and stuff for make sure the fires were good for the night. So I wasn't here.
Tell us everything you saw, and heard, and smelled.
Oh, that's a lot of questions. Well, when I woke up this morning,
On the night of
No.
the event.
Oh, okay. Well, I was
Don't
out
get
back
smart.
shopping. Oh, I would never get smart. People say I am a few
It
apples
was a mistake
short
to
of
interrupt.
a bushel. So
Continue with your story, please.
So I was chopping some wood. I'm really good at that. That's one of my specialties. When I heard the madam and Chris, that's me. Heard Jack and the madam say something and told me to grab my grab my axe and come because something might be up with the master. So I came, and as they were headed, Jack was heading to the stable and stuff, and I was following him. I did hear some noises coming from the direction. I did
Oh, no,
see what
close a little
appeared.
bit.
I did see what appeared to be one or two large shapes going into the woods, but they were too large to be the master. And when we got here, Jack, who looked at things, and he was like, "Okay, we don't see the master. Go look over there, see if you can find him and stuff." Because I think he was assuming that he was injured or hurt or dying, and that his body should have been there, or he would have. But he wasn't there, so I started going that direction to the area, and as I went a bit to search, I didn't see a lot, but I did think I saw in the distance a large dog. But yeah, there's a big dog.
And the creature, the thing that, the person that you saw in the woods, that you thought you saw, How tall would you say they were compared to yourself?
Oh, about 4 or 5 hands above me, like a whole head or two, maybe.
So,
It's
so
hard to
big
tell.
as fuck, right, Kevin?
It was big, yes. Too big to
Was
fuck, yes.
was the dog? How many Chris's tall was the dog?
Technically, it would only be about a quarter of a Chris
Oh,
tall.
so you could
Because,
tell that it wasn't one of the two large shapes that left the stables.
yeah, it was wolf. These things were more up. The thing with 2 legs, whatever term that is.
Bipedal.
Yes.
Ambulatory. A bipedal.
Yeah,
Forget I said that.
yeah, they're larger shapes and they seem to be like mannish walking.
Mhm.
Walk like man.
Large
Could you tell if
brutes.
they were carrying something?
No, it was
Too
far
dark,
away.
yeah.
Dark and far. I don't have good night vision.
Sure. Did they
Yeah.
smell like animals?
I wasn't close enough to sniff them.
Perhaps another time.
There was a lot to smell of blood in the area, though. I know the smell of blood because I also help in the morning sometimes. I when I
Yes,
have
we
free
saw the
time.
horse in there. Lots of blood.
How are the horses reacting?
The horses are up at the house.
No, during the attack, I mean.
Oh, they were strangely quiet, like they almost as if somebody had made them dumb. Dumb
Okay.
at this time omit mute.
Are they better now? Did they get better?
Yes, they seem to be well. One of them is normal. The other one is a little more skittish.
This is probably the smarter one.
Well, the one that was doesn't seem skittish. That was one the master was training for fight, for to be a steed that you go into war. Unfortunately, his favorite steed, the one that he actually had fully trained and stuff, is the one that died.
All right then. Thank you.
Mhm.
If you remember anything else, please
This was very
Don't-
helpful. Thank you.
don't hesitate.
Zabio, do you need me to go get Jack, or would Jack be off the rest of the night?
I believe we have what we need for now.
Yes. If we need assistance, we'll return to the house.
I'll let everyone know. Did you need any food before you continue? Well, we did have soup prepared.
No, we had a late supper before we arrived.
Okay,
Perhaps after we make some progress out here.
okay. I'll let the cook know. And he just kind of walks away.
It lumbers away. Okay. So what are y'all thinking? Big creatures that
So
aren't people carried them away.
I don't wish to frighten either of you, but I believe that we're dealing with a monstrous creature. I've seen wounds like this once before.
You have.
They're from a creature that our kind call a lupine. It's a shape-changer that can transform into monstrous wolf-like beasts. They're terrifyingly hard to kill and can rend a man in half with a single blow if they're so willing.
You know, you probably would know him as werewolf or Digaroo.
Lugru.
Yeah.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, you're not that long in the kindred society
Long in
that
the
you're
tooth.
like,
Okay.
yeah.
I didn't remember what they called them.
Yeah, you still probably would have a common person's knowledge, so werewolf, or if you're being fancy Frenchy.
So do we think
It's
two of them came in and stole this person, and why would they take him and not just eat
I
him?
don't
or
understand
whatever?
why they would steal
Yes, that's the big question.
Joseph.
They wouldn't be the type to ransom someone.
I
I
mean,
wouldn't think. They're just beasts.
the last time I mean, they're more than beasts. They're
Hmm.
they're men that turn into beasts. They're quite intelligent. They're as intelligent as you or I. Um, not quite. Depends on how you define hard to kill. Um, but I suppose their motives are as wide and varied as creatures such as ours. So,
It seems like if they
but
just
if it
wanted
had been a
money, they could have
kidnapping, you would think that they would deliver some kind of
note.
ransom demand.
I feel like they could have just smashed their way into the house and taken what they wanted and left without going through all the trouble.
No, it does seem that they specifically wanted Joseph. They waited till he was separated from the others
Mm.
and took him and didn't kill him. Speaks to them wanting him alive. Perhaps he knows something that they need,
Perhaps.
Hmm.
or someone.
But I believe these tracks will lead us to them, undoubtedly.
I hope
Ebenezer,
it's not
you've
a
had
trap.
no, well, yes, you've had experience with them
I
before.
have, yes.
You tell.
Just elaborate, please.
Well, years ago, I encountered something that seemed so ridiculous I couldn't believe it, but when they tried to kill me and my sword and axe did absolutely nothing, I remembered the old horror stories that my grandmother told around the fire in the evenings. And I made a silver sword, and that worked.
You don't happen to still have that, do you?
Would I still have that, Kevin?
Um, you do have what they call a clave, which is a weapon of
We all
the
know what a glaive
werewolves.
is.
Clave,
Glaive?
Klai. Yeah, it's
Okay.
their term
Made up
for a
word.
silver weapon. Mainly
Oh.
a sword or like a pole arm like device. You do have the one you took from the
I don't have
werewolves.
mine. Yeah. I don't have mine because mine was sort of made in haste and honestly of extremely poor craftsmanship for my level of skill. But of course, I was in need at the time and needed it immediately. But I do have one I took from them that was quite efficient.
Should we go into the house and take some silver knives if we're gonna go after this? They probably have
Might
silverware.
be wise.
Right, and with that, we'll be taking a quick break. Somebody has to utilize the door werewolf's room.
A little werewolf's room.
Our
Let's
Oh, we're back. All right. So we left off with you recounting the time you used a bag of silver to beat the shit out of a werewolf, and then you were going to go into the house to look for silver stuff.
Because I don't think that we would have time to make it all the way back to Ebenezer's home and then back here. That would probably be quite a journey.
we've already lost quite a bit of time
Yeah.
since
He's been
he was
missing near
taken.
2 days. No.
I say we go back to the house.
yeah.
We make excuses to go to the kitchen, perhaps to see what fare the cook was actually offering up, and quietly abscond with some implements, because I don't think they'll quite understand.
They don't
Oh,
need
we-
to understand.
True.
Likely not, no.
So you go in the kitchen, you see one servant there you haven't seen before. She's making, cooking some stuff. She's just like, "Hello, your dinner will be served shortly in the dining room. Was there something specific you were wanting? We don't have, if we have it, I can maybe make it like a nice cobbler or pie, something more hearty than the soup.
I will try to distract her so the others can rifle through the things by moving across the room so that to face me, she has to look away from where I assume the silverware and cutlery is stored.
Is there something you're looking for?
Yes, please tell me about this soup. I am a connoisseur of soup.
It is a fish
Is there
soup.
lamb? Fish?
It's
The
fish based.
Okay, fish based.
Yeah,
Fish
it's
paste?
based.
Based.
Mm-hmm.
Hope you guys
It's,
are doing Yes.
It's yeah, it uses
Devin, did we happen to see like a garden or something outside?
a gardener or a guard.
Or
Like a
garden.
garden, like a vegetable garden or garden or something?
There's a small one, nothing spectacular.
Perhaps, if you don't mind, dear, Lucinda is extremely peculiar about where all of the parts of her meals come from. If you could show her where the things in the soup were grown.
Oh, I wouldn't be able to do that. Several of the things we bought at the market when
Was there
Masters.
nothing from the garden?
It's all store bought.
No, there's a handful of things, not a ton. I we normally say that for special occasions, not just typical nights. But I can show you some of what stuff in the garden. We have
Yes, I think that would be a good idea.
coriander, which I
Coriander,
think,
yes.
yeah,
I'm
Small
looking at
green
my
herb.
0 dots and stealth, and there is no way I'm getting a handful of silverware unnoticed.
is that
I'm sure it'd be quiet to grab a bunch of metal
catnip?
things together.
Um,
I'll like try to walk and talk and bring her away out of the kitchen while she's telling me about
so
what herbs are.
now a lot of people throw away the innards of the fish and stuff, but you can use that to make a really good base for soup. It really infuses the flavors.
Like a stock, yes, exactly.
Yes, it's very good. And like some people don't like fish heads, but they are just as tasty if you prepare them right. Some saute with some.
As
Yeah,
soon
like-
as they were like the door
yeah.
closes behind them, I'm gonna go through drawers to find the silverware.
I am helping.
As
Ebenezer,
we're walking, I'll be like, I'm sure.
I
What's his
love
name
how
is
we
good.
are a group of 3 Ventrue that are straight up stealing the silverware out of our good friend's home.
we're not stealing. We're repurposing it to
We're
save his life.
It's there to be used,
When you could
just like the
simply
people who work here.
when you could probably ask.
I was
That-
just going to say we're taking
Well, yeah,
it,
but then explaining why we're asking
we
for
don't
it
need to
would be
tell them
really
why they're
awkward.
paid to work here. They just work here.
This is more fun.
You gotta see some spoons and some ladles. and
I'm
some-
going to cut their heart out with a spoon. No, that's not going to work.
You look at the one, you're checking the marks to make sure it's silver as opposed to pewter, because pewter is, I believe, at the time period was also considered special.
It
Do-
makes werewolf stronger, it turns out, pewter.
You do see Joseph's there's a on the side where there's the kitchen where you cook, and then there's like where all the stuff is for plating and everything. You do see his special aluminum plates.
Ooh.
Fancy,
Aluminium.
not helpful.
For those who don't know, aluminum prior to essentially the mid 19th century, I think it was extremely hard to come by because the process is extremely difficult. So it used to be almost worth more than like silver at certain points in history. Yeah, so you have a couple spoons, a couple forks, a couple dinner knives.
Definitely taking a couple of the dinner knives.
You look, you see Paul Revere.
I know that fellow.
Those who don't know, Paul Revere's family were silversmiths. See, you are learning some history.
Is he the guy who put his hand into silver and it like
That was
deformed
Johnny
it?
Tremaine.
Right?
Fictional
knew
character.
There was something.
Paul Revere
I learned that
was
from The Simpsons, but I don't
one of-
remember the details.
one of by land, two of by sea, and I on the opposite shore will be That guy, the British are coming.
I remember what he did that one night, but I was thinking about the rest of his life,
No.
which I don't know anything about, except that he could ride a horse.
That's the only thing people care about, really.
Yeah, you do one big thing, and that's good enough for most.
Yeah, and he got captured pretty early. There's a bunch of other guys that did most of it.
Probably the safest thing.
But when you got a name that can be put into a poem, that's what gets you. Everyone with the last name Silver or Orange. God damn it. Oh.
Yeah, so I'm gonna gather up as much the silverware as we can. And it
You all,
occurs to me that I don't know if Joseph would have the tools to melt this down
really good
anywhere other
ones.
than in the kitchen.
Yeah, there's no real crucible to reforge it into something.
I think we just have to go with what we have.
Do you note that at this time coins were also made of silver?
Okay,
So,
but I feel like I'm a little above just straight up robbing him of money.
Borrow.
all of you probably are carrying money on you.
How
Well,
much would he
yeah,
pay for
but
himself to be risked? Keep in mind.
that's true.
Also, what about like a blunderbuss? Because you can cram stuff into one of those and blast it out of there.
Yeah, can you make a crucible from something else? From like a silver doesn't have that high of a heating point, does it?
So crucible is the device you pour the silver into. You have to kind of make
Oh,
those.
shit. Yeah.
But Luke is
No,
correct in that a
that's right.
blunderbuss you could just shove things into the barrel and fire out of. It's not good for the
That's fair.
blunderbuss, but it is something people have
Only needs to
done.
work once or twice.
Note instead of silver and stuff, you do know that a lot of candelabras in the house probably, or the candlesticks are also silver and they can smack you on the head too.
Yeah, I was
When
just
I-
thinking silverware because some of them are knives.
Yeah, I was mentioning the coins because you could put them between your fists, like
Oh, that's true. We're
Punch a
vampires.
werewolf to death.
yeah. I mean, there's often things you can do. And do you know there's something else that werewolves are also vulnerable to?
Yeah, but so are we.
Yeah.
Garlic, coriander,
Fire.
catnip. Well, fire. But who's not vulnerable to fire?
Fire.
That's like
That's-
saying they're weak and you take
Yes,
their head off.
correct.
Yeah, it's very rare you find a supernatural creature that fire does not hurt.
Yeah, if it is one, it's just their whole thing is fire. Like that guy in the Brazil.
What?
I don't know his name. It's in a different language. There's a show
Okay.
about it. I'll talk. We can
I'm
discuss
still
it later.
confused.
Secret City or something like that. It's a mythology thing.
Okay, so we have a
Not
bunch
relevant.
of silverware and we have some coins. Do we think that's enough, or do we want to go for candlesticks?
I think we're all right.
Okay.
Meanwhile, out of the garden, and this is what we right here. This is
Oh, he froze.
I'm back,
You're back.
and she's like, and this is the dandelions. Now, dandelions are often considered a weed, but they do make a good tea. And
I've heard of
people
dandelion
To the
tea.
as we walk out to the garden,
That's probably too hot, isn't
I
it?
asked John Thomas, so how closely do you think Lucinda is going to get to killing this poor chef?
I don't think Lucinda's that hungry right now.
I was talking about a pure annoyance.
Oh, well, I don't think too close. Unlike others, Lucinda wouldn't straight out kill one of Joseph's employees.
The temptation, I'm sure, is there, though.
Well, the temptation was there for that Christopher fellow, but he lived
Yes.
to tell another tale. God helps he doesn't, but there's that.
Yeah, and we'll walk over to save Lucinda from the very talkative chef. Hands in
Yes.
pockets to contain the clanking.
Mm-hmm.
Tink,
Oh,
tink.
you've all come to check out the small garden we have. We also have the other special garden I can show you.
Is that a metaphor? because we're busy.
No, it's
Oh
well,
well.
you know, when you have rat problems and pest
No, not really.
problems, you need a special garden so that you can make the poisons to kill the pests.
Oh, you have a poison garden.
Mhm.
Honestly,
have-
I would be
Hmm.
interested in this, but I feel like sadly, we do need to try and get to figuring out if we can figure out what happened to Joseph.
Oh, that's why you three are here. I thought you were just dinner guests for the mistress.
No, we're here to
We're
see
here
if we
because
can
of
retrieve your
Joseph.
While we were
employer.
talking in the kitchen, we realized something that might help. So we're going to go follow up on that lead, and we will be back for that
Oh, yes,
delicious stew.
go. Why are you standing here
Hey.
talking about a garden? Go, go,
We're
go.
going. We're going.
Hey,
All right.
Ebenezer, does
Huh?
the poison have any effect on werewolves?
I don't know. Kevin, does poison have any effect on werewolves?
There's just like wolfsbane.
Uh,
I don't know if Ebenezer would know that. Lucinda would not. I do.
Yeah, so you don't know like all the details mechanically of the World of Darkness werewolves, so you're
Yeah.
just going by what you think.
Okay.
We'll have to determine if we
Actually,
need to find out.
Yeah,
before
Ebenezer.
you go,
Mhm.
in that garden,
Mhm.
would you happen to have there's an herb called wolfsbane. I've
Monkswood.
sure.
Um,
Just a carpenter know about the wood plant.
Or monk should is monk's
Uh-huh.
hood.
Monk's hood covers their head when it rains.
Yeah.
there's a lot of names for that. You're like, yeah, we have something like that here. Mhm.
Give some of us some of it. If we're going to be going through the woods, we need something that might deter predators. We're in a
Okay.
hurry,
If
so we
there's a
want to.
chance that
Yeah. A chance?
Goes,
Go on.
comes back and hands you a little baggie full or a little pouch full. She's like, there you go.
fun fact, it actually has medicinal properties, Kevin,
Mhm. Yep.
and it is the first listing in this book.
What is this book?
This book is
I'm trying to find it.
now show the horribleness of the room.
It's just our headboard.
Oh.
Ooh.
It's
It's actually really great. I got it because like two of my characters are alchemists in our games. It's freaking amazing. Like each page has a little drawing of the plant and how big it is compared to a normal sized person and like what it can be used for and everything. I love it. It's amazing.
Interesting.
it's yeah. Also has stuff in it for when you want to can add things to RPGs and stuff too. Because
Like medicinal purposes, magical purposes, psychoactive use. It's freaking amazing.
it's brought to you by Exalted Funerally, I think, which is also the ones who do. What's it?
Exalted
Morkbog?
Funeral.
Yeah,
Morkborg,
Old School Centrals, I think maybe, and a bunch of other things. Check them out.
yeah, they're cool.
And continue. Okay. So yeah, she hands you some. It's like, here you go.
Thank you.
Mhm.
We'll find Joseph.
Yep.
Don't worry.
Hopefully you do. Be bad. Be very sad if the master never returns.
Yes. Now go
And
inside
walk
where it's
away.
safe.
Yep. And we go follow that trail.
Let's follow that trail.
Mm-hmm.
It seemed like they weren't really trying to keep it a secret. Or they were in a hurry. It's probably just they were in a hurry.
I put my cap back on as we go into the woods.
Same.
So you head into the woods. I will actually ask for a roll of some sort.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Survival roll.
We look to Lucinda.
I've got this. Trust in me. What do I put
Yep.
it with?
And we'll do intelligence.
Okay, that's not so bad. See, rolling, willpower reroll. 3 successes.
Ooh.
You find a trail. It appears to be like a couple large bodies, and almost seems like they're dragging something.
What
Not
are
the
these
best
weird
sign.
groove marks?
That
The
makes
heels
sense.
of the feet.
Well, I would assume they would have had to knock him out. He wouldn't
Yeah,
have gone
see-
willingly.
Yes, that's true.
I mean, he was an old soldier.
Let's
I
follow
guess
the
we
trail. Could we
continue
tell
following the tracks.
could we tell if the trail is trying to be obscured in any way? Or is it just like they're just walking through and don't care?
They don't really seem to be disguising the trail.
Okay, then they're
Mhm.
confident and we can use that against them.
I mean,
That's my confidence.
they believe that they're the only folks they have to worry about are his young daughter and a handful of servants.
So as
Yeah, that's true.
you are traveling, eventually you see a little bit of a clearing, and there appears to be a body on the ground.
No.
Run up to the body.
Don't run up to the body. I grab Ebenezer by the shoulder.
Let me try to get a closer look at it. I can be unnoticed when necessary.
Can you?
I can attempt to be unnoticed when necessary.
So a stealth check, I'm assuming.
Yeah, I would like to try to creep forward and keep to the shadows where possible to try to get close to see if this is on purpose or on accident.
Before
So-
Lucinda moves forward, I hand her a silver dinner knife.
Oh yeah, thank you.
You're welcome.
So Dex and stealth.
Dex and stealth. That would be the same 4 dice as before. 4
Ooh.
successes.
Okay.
Shit,
Stealthy.
nice.
Go over to the body. Let's get some down here because that is opposing.
I like the idea that John is a little more like wait and see, and Ebenezer's more like brash and like take charge.
Mhm.
And Lucinda's like, get out of the way, boys. I've got this shit covered.
But is also the smartest of all of us because she's doing it while hiding.
Absolutely.
It's best to see what you can see and know what you can know before you have to do what you can do.
So, Lucinda, you go up to it and you see that's Joseph, and he's seems very injured.
Oh,
He seems to be like unconscious.
Mhm.
There are several wounds, but as you do, 2 figures emerge from the wounds.
try to stay very still and unseen and hope they didn't notice me.
The one's like guttural, stilted voice, like, "We can smell the death upon you."
I'm going to
Can
stand
I-
up and say, we're going to smell the death on you soon enough.
Can I when I see them, can I do a sense the beast and try to discern their whatchamacallit? What's it called that I get from that? Their level of hostility and such at this moment.
You can certainly try.
All right, so it's charisma and dominate versus wits and resolve. And it's passive. All right, so 1 and charisma. So I get 5 dice for this. Dice roller, where are you?
Where are you?
5 dice. Roll. Oh, okay. I rolled 4 successes on 5 dice.
And
Nice.
is that an opposing roll or just a?
Yeah, the opposing would be the composure and subterfuge.
Well,
Yeah, I can. If I succeed, I get their nature, their hunger, and their hostility.
they are somewhat hostile.
Oh,
No hunger, because they are not vampires.
hmm.
And what was the other one? Their nature?
So yeah, so if they're werewolves, I would mark them
Oh.
as such.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, good, obvious. They're big.
Hey, well,
Um,
but I've got some confirmation now. I feel better about this.
John maybe didn't trust Ebenezer, huh?
Maybe these are the seeds of distrust that grow.
It's all
Eb-
about that one time with the werewolves.
Ebenezer didn't tell me, and I'm feeling kind of upset about that.
yeah, one who spoke's like,
They can come up.
"You're not the one we were after, but any worm-ridden filth is a good one to destroy anyway."
I don't have any worms. Who are you?
Look, the one's like, "No, worm with a Y."
While they're talking, Ebenezer's gonna just jump out. I have the coins between my fingers, and I'm gonna punch the fuck out of the back of a werewolf's head.
I'm just like,
I'll try to
"It's
distract him.
Stupid.
You can spell it however you want. I'm clean on the inside.
John actually is like,
him."
just for that brief beat of a second as Ebenezer's leaping into the clear. It's like impulsive son of a.
Okay, so I'm assuming this would be strength and brawl, right?
Are you punchy?
Yeah.
Okay. Give me a second while it's really annoying because their stats for these are on 2 different pages, so I have to do that whole back and forth kind of thing.
Might be easy to screenshot it and put them next to each other in little windows.
Okay, I don't use intelligence. Okay. Okay. You're done. I so you're punching, so that's an opposing as they see, and the one just like, "It's him."
It's always about Ebenezer.
Okay, so let me see what their stuff
Oh, you're the target.
I got 5 successes.
is. See, I mean, they get their master dice. So you got 7 successes, was it? No.
No, I got 5.
Seems like a lot.
I know. I was impressed.
4 successes here, so the difference is 1.
Aha!
So you do punch one, and this is 0. So
I don't know if it would work because they're not quite mortal, but I do have lethal body,
yeah, they're not.
which allows me to ignore 1 level of armor if they have any. I don't know if they have like natural armor or whatever.
No, not at least what I've seen here. But these are
Okay.
interesting. Yeah, so you go to punch it as it slashes at you with its claws, and you manage to duck and just do a quick uppercut to the face. You feel like the coins in your hands like scratch into them, but they also like dig into your hand too, because
Yeah.
they're not designed. It's like, all right. Lucinda, you see that, and so
All
does
right,
John
yeah.
Thomas. So
Then I'm going to turn to the one that Ebenezer did not attack and look him in the eye and use dread gaze and say, "You brought your own death. That's what you smell." And try to like make them scared for a round so they don't do anything or maybe run away or something.
let's see what district is.
The book description only mentions mortals and vampires, but I assume that werewolves are on the vampire side of the rules.
Looks like Jeanette might have moved the discipline cards downstairs.
Uh-oh.
And all I know is I've got to roll
I'm
charisma
sorry, I
and
don't know where
presence.
they are.
So that means I don't have that easy access. So give me a second.
Hang on, I can find it for you, Kevin. I have PDF open.
PDF. PDF. Pretty darn fine. Pretty darn fine.
Okay, yeah, it's charisma and presence plus versus composure and resolve.
Mhm.
Yeah, it works on vampires either submit like whipped dogs or flee in terrified frenzy. So I would assume that werewolves would be on kin with that.
That's what I was thinking. Yeah.
Composer and resolve, is it?
Yep.
How many successes did you get?
Let me. I'm gonna re-roll with willpower. 4 successes.
Yeah, you look at him and the world just like you see his eyes kind of narrow in the glistening light of the moon, and he's just like, I've been. It's like, Pomeranians are scarier than you.
Oh.
Ameradians. What? I don't know what that word is.
It's a type of dog, Pomeranian.
Pomeranian. Oh, I thought.
Pomeranian.
Okay.
Oh,
Those things
Pomeranian.
are vicious. Have you seen them in Blade
We
2?
didn't hear
Their
the
mouth
P.
opens up. Yeah, the P didn't.
Oh, sorry,
I thought it was
Pomeranian.
a World of Darkness thing, an Ameranian.
No,
I know, but like, what the fuck is an Pomeranian? What a new thing to be scared of? What the hell is that?
Well, I put my silver knife in a ready position.
it's like, oh, you're gonna try to stab us to death with a little toothpick.
As they say that, I am going to I am going to use resilience to make myself a little bit hardier and add my fortitude to my health track. And then I am leaping from the cover of the trees with 2 silver forks in either hand. And I'm
Oh,
going to just
you
come
know you want to
down
say
and
it. You want to say it. You know you want to say it.
pork you. No. But yeah, so I'm basically using them as melee weapons to leap and stab into the back of the werewolf that Lucinda just tried to scare, intimidate.
Mhm.
Would you like me to roll melee and strength?
Mm-hmm.
All right.
So this is second
Well,
attack this round, so he's really going to reduce attack.
well, I got a single. Wait, how does willpower work again, Kat?
You can spend willpower to reroll up to 3 non-hunger dice. If you do a blood surge, you can add 2 dice right off the bat.
All right. I am going to, because I didn't use my blood surge, I will do willpower and reroll 3. Reroll. Oh, okay. 1, 2, 3. Reroll. Well, I still have a single success.
Just one success.
Just one. As because no one ever informed me about werewolves until today, side-eyeing Ebenezer, I did not entirely respect how strong they might be.
Ooh. Yeah, so you jump out, it turns around and just kind of like grabs at your chest with its claws, just going deep into you and just slams you in the ground. That's 10 superficial damage that is not halved.
How does that work? I've never been hurt in battle
How much?
before.
You can't get
And-
hurt.
It rolled 7 successes versus your 1 plus 3. Yeah, so it's like
So
Ow.
if my health is normally 9, but I did my resilience, so it's 11. How do I
So the thing is, I think resilience is already added in.
Oh, well then I'm at 9.
yeah, so that means you
So is he
are
a torpor?
No, remember it goes to aggravated.
Oh, that's
Oh,
right. It's superficial. Okay, okay,
okay.
okay.
Yeah.
So it was how much? 11?
Mm, 10.
10. Okay,
10.
so I take so my okay, so
You have
my
9
super
superficial and 1 aggravated, right, Kevin?
Yeah.
I know as a
Wait, no, 2
vampire.
aggravated.
No, I had 9. So
9 superficial, 10, 11.
so it was 10, so I have 1 aggravated.
Mhm.
Yeah, so
Oh,
that's
yeah,
10.
yeah, yeah, yeah. No, I can't count.
Oh yeah, so John Thomas, like
Oh,
I don't have air in my lungs for like to have the breath knocked out of me, but my eyes like go wide and
I'm just imagining he just leaps out, stabs the werewolf, and yells, "Fuck you!" And then when he gets body slammed to the ground, he just looks over at Ebenezer, "Fuck you!"
yes,
It was all
exactly.
Ebenezer's fault.
Yep. Oh, I'm just
I literally said that they could tear a man apart if they so wished to.
I'm
It's
not
not
a
my fault you
man.
didn't
I
listen.
did not expect that.
I will note that I did roll damn good with 2 10s on my roll and stuff.
That's yeah. No, but yeah, like John Thomas tries to keep an air of like nonchalance all the time. I am not nonchalant. I actually look very fucking scared.
We don't have a good advantage here.
No, we don't. No, we have no advantage.
Think we needed something better than the silverware.
Like what? Is
Fire.
that what we could do on short note? Oh yeah.
Ow.
Well, I can't do anything about that.
So,
I'm scared.
Who grabbed
Ebenezer?
the wolfsbane? Did he give it to all of us?
They gave it to you, I
Okay.
think.
Then I'm going to, if I have a chance to have a turn. I don't know if we're doing it in order. Is it fries? Oh, I'm just. Oh, okay. I just ate grapes. So, I guess Lucinda's going to take that wolfsbane and try to slap it into the face of the closest werewolf, and hope that it affects him in some way. Like shove it in their face, in their mouth, maybe. Carefully.
I guess Dex and melee.
I'm gonna blood surge because I'm angry and scared.
Yeah, your sibling is lying on the ground with his chest kind of a little caved in the moment.
Yep, I'm up to hunger 3. So you said Dex and melee. That's gonna be a small dice pool, but ooh, I got 3 successes, but it's a possible bestial failure.
Oh, this is fine.
Yeah. So if they roll bad, it's okay, but if they roll good, then I'm gonna lose it.
You got 2 successes, you said, right?
I got 3 successes.
3.
Yeah.
Not as severely bad as others. So you swing with a mighty thing, and you got the fist of failure. The werewolf basically grabs your arm as you go to
Oh.
hit it, and it's just like,
Oh. Uh-oh.
So that is 3 superficial,
Hmm.
unhalved, and your arm is shattered.
That was my lesser arm.
Oh fuck.
And just like, you're going to hit me with a cloth sack.
It's Wolf's Bane. It's your bane.
It's called wolf's bane because people poison regular wolves with it, not a bane of werewolves.
Thank you for the lesson, teacher.
You would die knowing more than most.
That's all we can hope for. What's your deal?
So, is Ebenezer going to do
I'm
anything?
gonna
'Cause
punch a werewolf again.
Can you kill 2 in one turn?
I doubt it. I'm a blood surge because I need the help. I'm not hungrier. Though honestly, at this point, if I go into frenzy, who cares?
Breaking up a little. Katrina.
Okay,
Oh.
so um, I'm going to do a willpower reroll. I got 1, 2, 3, 4 successes so far.
Oh, are you back?
5 successes.
Katrina, you there?
I got 5 successes. I did a willpower reroll. I'm here. Can you
Okay.
hear me?
You're going in and out a little.
Can you hear me?
A little bit.
Yeah.
Also, at one point she interrupted herself somehow.
It's
Maybe I gotta figure out what's going on. Like,
Yeah, it seems like the internet at your place has not been steady this last couple days.
thing is, we're using the same internet, and I'm fine, and we're both on Wi-Fi. So
Well, you
So-
can do cut in and out a little bit sometimes, or freeze a little bit. Maybe
we
it's
also
like
we also have
fiber.
a roommate who's been stealing our bandwidth a lot more the last 2 months. Doesn't help. I continue back.
hopefully. Can you hear me?
Can you hear you a moment? Maybe if you need to take your video down. You can see you partially dancing. Say something.
Hello? Hello, hello?
I can hear you at the moment. You said 5 successes.
All right. Good enough, yeah. 5 successes.
Okay. All right. So you do hit him.
Woo!
And you notice you're doing a little, but it's like a lot of really deep scratches more than like deep cuts and stuff. It's like and the werewolf is like, that's best you got, old man.
From my position on the ground, with a large clawed hand in my chest, say, perhaps we've been hasty. What is it you want? Why did you take this man? Maybe we can find some common ground.
You're trying to weasel it him as he points to Ebenezer. He
Why?
has something that belongs to her. And it's taken us this long to track him down.
Did you think to maybe ask before doing this?
We don't ask from worm-tainted scum.
What do you want?
Well, apparently it's something Ebenezer has.
They both look like we just told them what we wanted. We want the thing that he stole from us.
You want the weapon.
The sacred glaive.
Just give him it.
I'll look down at Joseph on the ground. Does that one still live?
Not for long. You know how normal people are very fragile.
Yep, apparently I am tonight as well.
As long as he lives, you stand a chance of getting this weapon back.
I mean, if we kill
Let
him
us
and
make
everyone here and just leave you.
Then
We
good
don't
luck
need-
finding it.
Eb, how about little diplomacy? It goes a long way.
See, does he have diplomacy? No. No, he does not.
Is that a skill?
Persuade. I'm thinking along the lines of like persuasion,
Oh yeah.
No. I got one
which
dot,
I'm
yeah.
good at. Which I'm good at, but I'm sure that I know that Ebenezer is not. So I'm very
No.
frustrated.
Oh, I'm looking at the modern Ebenezer, so I was like, you got skills here?
Eventually, Ebenezer has skills. Right now, no. He's probably a very Russian, like boneheaded freaking.
He's an angry old war veteran.
Yeah.
Yeah, he doesn't give a shit.
And
We
John is
don't
a
negotiate with
meticulous.
terrorists.
John is meticulous. He's a carpenter. He does things very carefully. He plans them. I could see why we're not friends in the present day. After 200 years of this, I think we just couldn't deal with each other anymore.
Looks up and's like,
Let us save this one. And you'll get your weapon back.
you will have 2 nights. We will return to that house, and if the weapon is not there for us, we will kill every human in that building.
I entirely believe that statement.
I imagine you say that and you are wheezing because your lungs are punctured.
And I don't breathe, so this is very dramatic.
You know, it's
Could you
like,
put me down? I don't have the thing. I'm not even supposed to be here.
It's my night off.
Yeah, I'm on vacation.
2 nights.
2 nights. Wait, I do the math. Can we get to Ebenezer's and back in 2 nights? All right, just checking. I don't want to make a deal we can't come through on.
It's going to be a rough ride, but you can do it. There's a reason that they reached out to you as opposed to the sheriff and stuff. You're a lot closer.
Oh boy.
You actually probably would have been at the house a lot sooner if it wasn't for the fact that, you can't move in the daytime.
Hmm.
There.
That and she was very vague about what happened. I thought like he had pneumonia, not he got kidnapped by werewolves.
So the 2 wolves just kind of back off in the woods and just like, they're like, oh.
Well, I'm not going to carry him.
Right.
I'm still lying on the ground.
You should have mend where you mend some of the
I do have mend.
some of the superficial damage.
Yeah, I can do that. Could that? I've never
No,
had
it can
to
only
have an
work
injury
on you.
before. I never had an injury before, so I don't know
Yeah,
how.
it's you roll a rouse check,
Uh-huh.
and if you succeed, you heal that many superficial damage when you do it.
I'm gonna attempt.
I don't think any of us have.
I have mend. You gave it to me.
Everybody has mend.
Yeah, no, but what I'm
It's-
saying is I don't think any of us have ever taken aggravated damage on this level other than Cozy when her leg got
Yeah.
Slim Jim.
Well, mine's only superficial. I don't know
Yeah.
if I've had that much.
Yeah, mending is for superficial.
Uh-huh.
For aggravated.
You got to drink and sleep.
Yeah, after you wake up a day sleep, you do 3 rouse
Okay.
checks and stuff like that.
Yeah,
I'm
so
gonna
mending
attempt to mend.
superficial damage.
One success.
Yeah, 1 rouse check can cure 1 point. Mending aggravated damage, you gotta wait until tomorrow.
Well, I
And
healed.
then make 4
healed-
rouse checks. So 3 and then plus the 1 to wake up.
That's dangerous.
And if that works, then you cure 1 crippling injury or 1 aggravated damage. So I'm going to run over to Ebenezer or run over to Joseph since my compatriots are seemingly impaired. And
Trying to get a stick for a splint.
At this point, my guess is that the best way to save him would be to ghoul him. Am I right, Kevin?
Especially when you take a little break. I was eating a chip I did. Cut my thumb.
Oh,
We're back.
I mean, I know that we're hungry as vampires, but
So yeah, so roll your medicine check with Joseph. I thought you said you had it so well.
I can help you.
I did not.
I'll use teamwork on you and you can get a +1.
Any of you have medicine?
I have medicine 1. And I
I
think
have
Maybe
Ebenezer
you
does.
should do it.
Yeah.
Oh, do you not have medicine 1?
No,
I don't.
Oh,
I
I thought
don't
you
know,
did.
diddly.
Okay, I can try to help him out.
Or at least check his wounds and stuff. So
Yeah, see if he's like stable and if there's anything we could do if we wanted to. So was that medicine intelligence?
yeah.
4 successes, possible messy crit, possible bestial failure.
I love it.
Yeah,
I'm
2
sorry,
10s?
what?
That's what it looks like
You
based on
got two
the
10s and 2 1s?
well, 2 10s and a 1 on the hunger die.
Oh, okay.
And then I have another just a regular failure on the non-hunger die.
It's like I am so confused right now.
I'm using the website.
Yeah.
So
Surely 4 successes is enough to just tell if he's okay.
wait, so one of the 10s was on the hunger dice.
Both the 10s were hunger dice, and the 1 was a hunger dice.
Yeah, because
All
she's at 3 hunger.
Yeah.
So as you're examining Joseph, the wounds he has in the blood becomes too much for you, and you sink your teeth into him.
Is he one of my rarefied tastes? I guess it wouldn't matter if I'm doing this without choosing to do it.
I was muted, but I just screamed.
So
Maybe this is why they don't talk
Ebenezer,
about Lucinda.
John, you see him Lucinda sink her teeth into Joseph, who
Yank
is
her off of him.
He's not gonna make it.
So you pull Lucinda back. And it looks like the wounds he sustained are now
Worse.
to the
2
point where
tiny small wounds more.
yeah, you don't think there's very much blood whatsoever left in him.
As in, like, if we were to give him blood, it wouldn't ghoul him, it would turn him.
Looks like it. And his heart's just
Do I get hunger sated? Is my hunger sated?
yeah, your hunger does reduce down to 2. It would be more if you had more blood in him to begin with.
All right. Well, it's not a total loss then. I'm not in a capacity to make a decision on what to do about this character now, so I'm flailing my one good arm as you two have to decide if you want to turn Joseph or not.
Now the scene is like you're holding Lucinda, and I'm like up on like one elbow, like staring at you. Ugh.
We have to embrace him. It's the only way to save him.
Well, since this is now her fault for
Can I finish?
feeding
Can I
on
finish?
him, no, now he needs to eat from you.
Is that how that works?
You owe him
Yeah.
at least that, since it's your fault that we can't save him.
I would blame the werewolves personally.
I blame you for not controlling yourself.
Nobody controls me.
You drained him, it's your responsibility.
All right. All
You owe
right.
him that.
All right. Lucinda will go complete the process.
So how many hunger do you go up? Because that would depend on how hungry he is when he.
I only have room to go up to hunger before because that'll put me
Shit.
at
Okay,
4.
so how much did Lucinda sate?
I went from 3 to 2. So now if I turn him, I can go from 2 to 4. I don't think going to 5 is a good idea.
No. Mm-mm.
Mhm. So you do the process. You see the wounds and stuff that were upon him start just to naturally do the healing of the vampire. You know, he's going to be a bit famished as he opens his eyes, and he's just like retches a little as his body purges itself of things it doesn't need.
I'll make sure he sees me first and say, Ebenezer made some enemies, and this is what happened.
It's just like,
But you're one of us now.
just sits up. He's like, what happened? Where am I?
You're in the Fork Woods, and werewolves almost killed you.
Werewolves.
Mm-hmm. That's
The
what
things
Ebenezer
that
called them.
attacked you in your stable.
Well, I went out to take care of the horses, and it's like,
Did something
Yeah.
attacked you, yes?
I lost conscious, and like I occasionally came to, but only to pass out again, and then it just felt cold, like, and now I'm really cold and got this gnawing kind of hunger in my belly.
We should get Christopher away
That's-
from the house and let him eat.
Who's your least favorite servant?
Please say Christopher.
I love all my servants. They
Come on. We're all
Uh,
family here. You can be honest. It's time to be honest.
why would I need to pick a least favorite?
In case
in
you go a
case.
little too far.
You have
Wait,
to
wait.
sate yourself, and you don't know enough yet to.
What do you mean? Sate myself.
So long story.
Well-
And I'm sitting up at this point, but not on my feet yet.
Well, you looked better, John.
Well, I've discovered that I'm not a fan of fighting werewolves.
Right, say most
Ebenezer's gonna
people
kneel
are.
down next to him. You've become a creature of the night, Joseph. You are a creature you would know as a vampire. We typically call ourselves kindred.
We? What do you mean? We, Ebenezer?
Look around at the other two people in the clearing.
We're also vampires. Didn't you know that?
No.
But no, Lucinda, we haven't actually had that talk yet with him.
That's sort of that's not very responsible of you two.
I mean,
Are you really the one going to be lecturing us on responsibleness tonight?
I mean, Ebenezer,
one
are
to see
you going
one.
to either?
Yeah, I mean, what's the deal with the clay?
We've all
I
made
mean,
mistakes tonight.
You didn't even
My
bring
only
it.
mistake was sleeping out with two forks and not starting with the conversation.
I insulted him, and that didn't work.
I look up at the sky. How long do we have before dawn, Kevin?
couple hours.
Okay.
It's like 11.
Okay.
So it's like, so when did you all become these creatures?
A few months ago.
Equinox.
What? According to the stories, vampires are dead and they feed upon the living.
That's the down and dirty short version of it. Yes.
They don't have to kill to feed.
Sometimes they go a little too far.
It's
I
not always
side-eye
easy.
Lucinda.
That's true, yes. There's
So-
challenges in all tasks.
Why am I what I why did you make me this?
It was that or you would die. And you are our friend. The decision was not an easy one.
Right, but moments. The option was to let you die or to give you a second life.
Do I have to feed upon the living?
Yes.
Yes.
Well, that is the best way to handle it, yes.
It won't seem so bad once you're trying it out.
What are the odds that when you do so, you kill people?
Well,
Depends on how hungry you are.
We'll help you. We'll make sure that you don't lose control right away.
I can't return home.
perhaps.
If there's
I'm
even a
sorry.
chance, then I'll kill my family. I can't do that. I can't risk it.
Well, you're new. Perhaps this evening, I look from Lucinda to Ebenezer. We get back to the horses in Lucinda's carriage without telling the family we've recovered Joseph, and we get him away from here. And we hunker down for the night. We retrieve this weapon that these creatures want back.
Mm-hmm.
And we deal with helping our friend adjust to this new reality he faces. And getting back here to return the weapon to protect the rest of his family from dealing with a fate worse than this.
You've done the same for us many of times. My roof is yours for as long as you would like.
We got a lot to discuss.
We
But
do indeed.
first, you said something about having to retrieve an item? Or
Yeah,
these
tell
creatures
us
kill
more.
my family?
Well, years ago, when I first encountered these creatures, I managed to take from them a weapon that I used to slay at least one of them. And I took it home with me as a prize. They've apparently tracked it down to me, but do not know where I live, but knew where you did.
These
Now they are
creatures.
saying that if I do not return the weapon to them, they will.
So these creatures, they appear to be pretty strong. You said werewolf?
They are incredibly strong, yes.
I massaged the place where my ribs are probably going to need
The
to heal.
gaping wound.
Look at my
Ah.
dangling arm.
That's pretty dangly.
Yeah, it's not supposed to do that.
Yeah, typically ours don't. Are these things vulnerable to anything? Do they have any weaknesses? Any tactics we can utilize?
Well, they don't like silver. They don't like
Uh,
fire, but you'll find very quickly that you don't like fire either.
I don't think many things like fire.
You
I don't think we're
really
strong
don't
enough to
No,
like
but
utilize
fire.
any
our kind are
weaknesses.
very susceptible to it.
I think that we need to give them back their item
You'll
and
no
hope that
longer
they're
find
good.
any comfort.
No.
No.
Somehow I doubt that just giving them back what they want will be enough.
They
These
threatened
creatures
my
tend to hold a
family.
grudge.
Mm-hmm. There's not much we can do about it.
I was looking off to the side. I was like, hmm.
I was talking to my dad.
I understand that a threat against your family would raise your ire and you'd want to do something, but I think that we were a bit outmatched by these creatures. They are powerful and dangerous, and I don't know that in a head-to-head fight we can do anything more than get ourselves killed.
Never said we're going to do a head-to-head fight.
It won't be a head-to-head fight. We send his family away. Make sure the house is empty. John, you built this house. You know it up and down.
It's okay, Ebenezer.
This
You're
time we
slowing
set a
down.
trap for them.
I guess that's a bit different than my idea.
What was your idea? I'm
What was your idea?
curious.
I was going to load some silver ignites into my cannon and fire it at them.
We can do that too.
That would
Yes.
work if you'd had one chance.
That's a fantastic idea. I love that as an opening salvo. And then they chase us into the house and we mark them in there.
I don't think
There
they're gonna
were
be
only
able to
2 this time, but they said they were in a pack. There might be.
honestly, one shot's all we would need.
Well, if you can hit both of them in one.
They're going to retrieve the item, right?
So we just point it at the item area, so when they go for the item, we can blast them that way.
Yeah, we put where that thing there, where that's the item, this thing you have theirs. We already have that area targeted and ranged with the
That's
cannon.
fair.
Once they're both in thing, we just fire cannon at them. We can utilize like silver ignis that we can melt down to make a little ball. We could put a chain between them. We could do lots of things.
And we can do this all within the next 2 days when most of it's traveling.
As long as we can. I mean, we're going to Ebenezer's house. He's got
Well,
a forge.
Yeah, as long as we travel quickly, you might need to leave the carriage behind so that we can go on horseback so that we're faster.
Cannon is here. It was gifted to me after the war. And by gifted, I mean I procured it.
Mm-hmm.
It is helpful now. That is all that matters.
Hey,
Now I
sure.
know
Remember-
I'm-
a well-regulated militia.
now I know why my inventory was wrong.
Huh?
And now I know why my inventory was wrong.
So you should, however, still have a place for your family to go that is so they're not on the premises.
Yeah, they should definitely not be there.
We could
Just
send them
in
to my
case we
house.
miss or something goes wrong.
I know a hotel they could stay in. It's kind of far.
Maybe
They
go
could-
and we need an excuse for them to go. Tell them
You were kidnapped by bandits. They're
No.
demanding ransom if
tell them that you found my body and that you're sending it to a funeral home in the city. They will go there and to prepare the funeral and stuff, and we'll go from there. They'll get there and be like, "Where's the body?" and stuff, and we'll deal with that later.
I can offer them my home to stay in the city.
That would mean they think you're dead and you can never
It's-
see them again.
Oh,
I don't know if that's a
better.
good idea.
I got a
It's a
better
bit-
idea. Do you got a piece of paper?
it's a bit macabre, but technically during the day, you would look like a corpse.
As long as they don't open a window near him, he'd be all right.
Most funeral homes don't have windows. So, either way, let's deal with this first situation.
Yes.
Oh,
So
I
we-
got. Oh, I got another way to send them away.
Oh,
Tell them they won a contest.
We can just write our letter stating that another family member or someone wants to see them. You've got cousins, so you can send that to them. Or you could say that the bandits are around and they need to leave to get the sheriff or something. Or we
Yeah.
we'll figure something out.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So you guys figure something out to get them to leave the house. I'll leave it to your all's imagination. One of which lie you get into that doesn't end up snowballing like every other time we try to do these kind of scenario lies in these games do.
I don't know what you're talking about. That's never happened before.
Snowballs don't exist.
I think John will.
We
Can-
didn't like accidentally make a vampire out of my Baltimore by Night character's ancestor. It's fine. It's whatever.
Sure. No, I think John would, using his persuasion, would try to convince them, like, we've found some clues. We think we can, track down who took Joseph, but some of the clues seem to lead to the idea that they might still be in the area and still be focused on the home. So we need to get the family and the servants away. And I offer up my home
Mhm.
for them to go to and stay until such time as we feel it's safe for them to come back to keep them, because
Mhm.
Joseph would want them out of danger.
So
And I'm very persuasive, and I'm also very good at gaslighting, apparently. So let's go.
Very nice.
yeah. So we will fast forward. You do ride hard with the horses to the city before the end of the night. You do have to do some day sleep. I will
Sure.
Yeah.
say, in that time, you all do manage to find the next night while you're melting down some of the silver and stuff. You do have the chance to feed so that you know, are not super hungry. Though one of you has to roll the aggravated rouse checks.
Probably need
So
to
here's
eat
the question.
somebody.
Does John have, as we're getting to town, Ebenezer will ride closer to John. Do you have the capability of feeding tonight?
Well, I Kevin, I do have a herd of 4 to 7 vessels that I assume are within city limits.
You do know a close person that you regularly feed upon from your herd.
So I will nod to Ebenezer and say, I do. I may have to partake tonight and tomorrow. This is let's just say I almost shuffled off a second not so mortal coil, I think, this evening.
I could see that. For what it's worth, I do apologize for my part in all of this.
You always do, Eb. Always do.
And I'll ride on up with Joseph and Lucinda.
So we go the next morning. Like I said, you do find most of you have a herd or people you can feed it from.
Mhm.
All right.
So John, yeah, 3 roll 4, you'll do the rouse check to rouse.
All right, yeah. Well, so I only did 2 rouse checks to get my superficial damage down to 7. So I have 7 superficial and 1 aggravated damage.
Yeah, so yeah, this is the one for aggravated. So when
Okay.
you awaken, for aggravated damage, you automatically attempt to heal it. It's not something you have like control like with mending.
Yep.
So roll 3 rouse checks.
3
4
rouse.
total. But it's
4.
total 4, but once you wake up.
All right. So I'm at 1 hunger.
Mhm.
All right. First roll. A success. Second roll. Fail. So that's 1 hunger increase, right?
Mhm.
Okay, so I'm at 2 hunger. Third roll. Fail. I'm at 3 hunger. And I have to do 1 more. Also a fail. I'm at 4. I'm at 4 hunger.
You wake up at 4.
I wake up at 4. I am fucking hungry. What happens next?
Yeah, what does John Thomas do with 4 hunger as you awaken in the city?
I think I'm looking for somebody
in
to
the
eat.
heart of the city.
Yeah, I think I like
Better hope
immediately
you don't stumble into anybody bleeding.
oh God.
So are you going to attempt to go to a herd, or are you going to find a non-herd who still fits your criterion?
At 4 hunger, probably looking for a non-herd that fits my criteria.
All right, so yeah, because you are so cleaver,
And that clears my aggravated, but I still have all that superficial damage, right?
correct.
Holy
that
shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So roll I'm trying to think what the role for the hunting is for you this.
Awareness and wits?
Sure.
Okay. I would say I want a blood search to get 2 extra dice, but I think that's a terrible idea, so I'm not going to.
That's a terrible idea.
I know. But sometimes we entertain terrible ideas. I'm rolling 5 dice and I'm at hunger 4. Nothing bad can happen, right?
Nothing bad.
Well, I got 1 success and I got a possible bestial failure.
Ooh. Okay, so for this, you go and you find a house. You know the house well, and you know that there's a nice family living there. It's night. You're not sure what anything is, but you do see a family member, and just that hunger, just the desire, you just pounce upon them, feeding. And by the time you realize what you've done, you have a dead body before you. So you've cleared your hunger, but you have killed
Am I at hunger 0?
Mm-hmm.
That's what this is like.
That's what happens when you murk someone, yeah.
And you also have a stain, which
Oh.
eventually you're going to accumulate enough stains that your humanity dips quite a lot for.
This is the start of the descent of that
This is
humanity.
the downfall.
You're cleaver, so I think your humanity started at 7 or 8, was it? 7?
I was 7 that I'm at.
In
7.
modern times, John Thomas is at 5, so.
I wondered.
Yeah. All right, meanwhile, as you're doing that, Lucinda, Ebenezer, and Joseph are using Ebenezer's forge to melt down some silver you had taken.
Hell yeah.
You
Yeah.
only need one, like 10-pounder, so you're good. It's a lot of silver.
Yeah, if there's anything left over though, I'm gonna try and silver a couple of like knives.
Could make
Just
Just so
silver
we have
buckshot,
backup in case we miss.
like silver bullets as well.
You do know if you miss, you're not going to have enough time to reload and target a fire again.
Oh no, I know. No, I know. That's why I'm making knives. So that if we miss, we have something to defend ourselves with.
You broke up some sort of sound like you said making a
Oh.
backup like cannonball.
No.
So you do probably can go with it not being pure silver, probably coated with a cannonball could also kind of work.
Mhm.
So I do that. Accumulating all the silver you managed to get from your coins and a few other places. I will say that you have enough to. Well, you have the clave you can hopefully utilize too. But or do you want bullets or melee?
Hang on, let me look at my stats.
If it's the same for me, I would take just bullets because I could not be next to a werewolf.
Yeah, bullets. I'm good with a musket.
I would like an axe or a sword.
You know that's a ton of silver for those things. So you might want something
Or a
that's
knife.
You could just coat them though, right? You could just like plate the
Knife.
plate. Oh, okay.
not for most melee. What you could utilize, which they still had, is potentially a bayonet attachment for a musket, or
Perfect.
basically the tip for like a spear.
Perfect.
Because you don't have a lot. So I will say you get enough to essentially have 2 shots with a with muskets, so that 2 people with muskets, because once you fire that first shot, they're going to be on you, and you're probably not going to have a ton of time to reload. You have so is Ebenezer going to go with are you going to go with the bayonet attachment or like it's
We'll go with the bayonet because that's cool.
all right, and then enough for a cannonball for a small cannon, 10-pound I think is quite excessive. I think it's a 5-pounder, but small one. And he's got the stuff. He's like, all right, let's ride as fast. Where's John? And as you say, that's when John walks in.
Probably quite a mess.
Just covered in blood.
Yep, very disheveled and a mess. Like hair slicked back, but it's not like on purpose. eyes a little bit wild. I was detained. I need to clean myself up. And I just walk past them.
Mhm.
And that's why I can't return home. I'm gonna assume the blood
Indeed
is
it
from
is.
feeding.
That's what happens when you lose control and are too hungry and too injured to hold back.
What happens when a werewolf puts a fist through your chest? I say from the other room. Or nearly so. I'm going to pilfer some of Ebenezer's clean clothing and change.
Could we get like bear traps?
Ooh.
Maybe put some around the thing, so maybe when they go for it, they'll at least be slowed down or delayed, so we can line up a shot.
Oh, the shot's gonna be lined up.
Well, I mean, just like to hold them in place so they can't dodge it.
Or slow them down so we have time to run if we need to.
Yes, very good.
It's like I don't really have much of those. If you can find a general store, I guess.
Not any house in the country had
Do we have time to
hunting
do that?
equipment.
Probably not.
House in the country doesn't mean we're country folk.
Well, it's outside the city.
Yeah, we don't have bears.
No, they've all been trapped.
I
I'm not a hunter person.
Yeah, we
Yeah,
typically
like
hunt
even the
the-
outskirts of Baltimore doesn't really have bears. Not even in this time.
Anyway,
Hmm.
yeah, we're too far east. Well, they do come through occasionally, but they don't like the area.
Well, who can blame them?
So, after you make these weapons, they're not the greatest, but thankfully they don't have to be the greatest.
They just
You
gotta
ride-
last a couple of minutes.
You ride back to the his house, and you just have probably a couple hours to get everything planned. He gets and y'all arm the cannon,
Mm-hmm.
your items, line up the targeting, put a couple things in front of the cannon so they don't actually know what's going to hit them.
Yeah.
It's like haven't had to fire a cannon to kill someone in weeks.
Well, I'm sure you'll remember how it works.
It was drilled into a very good.
I'm going to attempt to heal a little bit of the superficial damage I have. I just rolled one
What could
success.
go wrong?
I might need somebody
there
else.
is zero
Lucinda steps away a few
Ooh.
feet.
hunger.
2 successful rolls.
Truly, Lucinda is the smartest of the three of us.
3
She's
successful
a survivor
rolls.
type.
4 success. Oh, I've rolled 4 success. I'm gonna die.
That's why Elizabeth embraced her, because
Failure.
it's like you've got Ebenezer, the gung ho, take no shit, idiot, John Thomas, the smarmy politician that talks his way out of every problem, and Lucinda's like, you know what? This is not my monkey. This is not my circus. I'm gone. Bye.
All right,
I'm gonna outlive all you dumbasses.
I got my superficial damage down to 6 and only increased my hunger to 2. That's pretty good.
Oh, we're so fucked. Okay,
Well, no,
let's
my
do this.
superficial damage is at 1, so
Oh,
yeah, I took it down. I rolled 6 times and I failed twice.
okay. I thought that you got it 2-6 and you gained 2 hunger in that.
No, I realized I said 6. I was like, I meant 1.
I was gonna say, I'm like, shit, how many times did you have to roll just to reduce it by 1 more?
150.
That'd be me.
Yeah.
It'd take a long time. For a lot of people.
All right, let's hit a werewolf with a cannonball.
Yeah, I hope
And-
it's just the one.
Right before we get into this final little fight here,
When
hello, we're back. So you have your little trap set up. Who is going to be the primary shooty and who is going to be a sissy?
Oh.
So who would be, what would you use to fire a cannon? Firearms?
We'll just go with firearms for now. I mean,
I've got 2 dice there.
And did we make at least 1 bullet apiece for a musket?
mm-hmm.
I'd go with a musket because I have firearms 1, but I have focus in musket.
Well, this is firing the.
This is for the cannon.
Cannon.
Yeah, so I'm not doing the cannon.
Okay, so and it's, would it be still composure to fire the cannon?
Mm-hmm.
Can I
Okay,
sing
so
some
I have 5
encouragement?
dice.
Can I help her and give her the +1 for teamwork?
Yeah, I'm saying who's the primary firer.
Okay.
to-
Ebenezer should be the one to fire it. Ebenezer
Is
got us
Joseph?
into this.
Well, I guess Joseph and Ebenezer are both in the military, so they would know how cannons work.
I would like a player to do it just so that I can.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Make it so like you need us, and
All right,
it's good to feel
so
needed.
5 dice plus 1 for John's help.
Joseph, so that's another one.
Can I add 1 for
Mm-hmm. So that's 7 dice, I believe.
all right, and then yeah, and I would like to annihilate these werewolves, so I'm gonna do a blood surge as well.
Mm-hmm.
You remember that scene from Tremors where they first blow up a worm? That's what I would like to see with werewolf.
Yes, please.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I am hungry, but I don't care. Worth it. Worth it if it works. Sorry, give me a second. I'm flipping between apps trying to adjust my hunger because my computer likes to have a conniption fit if I have Google Sheets open for 2 seconds.
And she.
How dare.
I know, God forbid I have a Google Sheet open. The world will end. All right, let's do this.
Luke, we just put our hope into cat rolling dice. What have we done?
Hey, Lucinda, we don't know what her fate is. We know John Thomas lives.
That's fair.
Maybe she runs out and turns a bunch of more people. Like immediately.
Or the cannon accidentally blows her to bits. And that's
Or
the
she
last
joins the werewolves,
Ooh.
becomes the black sheep of the family. Creates the first
6
hybrid.
successes.
Ooh.
Ooh, that's a lot.
Mm-hmm. It's 6 successes. Correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, heck with it. I'm gonna spend a willpower and try and roll 2 of those to see if I can get more.
Okay.
Okay, 7 successes. What do I need willpower for? Nothing useful.
All right. So you fire. So basically, it's set up. You put the clave there. The 2 wolves go, and as they approach to where the clave is on the ground to retrieve it, you'll fire the cannon at them. It goes. Hits the area. One of the wolves is no more. Basically, it just rips through him. The other one is hurt, but not totally down. And it just gets up, mangled arm, bloody, and it's like, and just because when they approach in the Wolfman form, because that's war form. And it charges toward all of you. So let us do the combats.
I has a musket,
So do
I have musket, can use.
please.
so
I would
fire.
like to also pull my trigger.
All right, pull the triggers. Yes,
So it's firearms plus composure or
Correct.
dex?
Composure.
Okay.
I'm gonna
Oh,
blood
boy.
surge. And I'm gonna willpower reroll.
Blood surge, I think. Yeah. Ooh, success. I'm not hungrier. So I get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 dice.
I got 3 successes.
I'm gonna willpower reroll. I have 3 successes as well.
Just doing math in my head. All right, so as it runs and as like gets very close to two of you let loose a small volley of the 2 shots, and it just falls dead, probably like 3 feet in front of you. And then Ebenezer goes just.
Oh yeah, no. I'll make sure that that thing is dead. And then I'm gonna check and see if my werewolf sword is still there.
Of course, because you had it in the future.
Yeah. I'm gonna use that shit to cut their heads off, just to be sure.
Wow. You're hardcore
I
there.
I
didn't know
don't know
Ebenezer had
anything
that
about
thing.
werewolves, clearly.
If
I
you remove the
mean-
head, they're powerless.
It works with us. Why
Yeah.
wouldn't it work with them?
It works with almost everything, you'd think.
Yeah.
Aliens,
I don't know if
regular
aliens
animals.
exist.
Well, that's not for us to
I
decide.
mean, you're wrong.
My only question, with them being dead,
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
if they have a pack,
Right, the pack.
we don't want
Mhm.
Joseph's family to suffer further issues. How do we make certain that they don't come back here?
Go and find them. I'll make sure any ones that are around don't come back here. My family is going to have to think I'm dead and gone and never return. Because I can't risk hurting them to begin with. I just call myself Ebenezer and let them all think I'm a decoy. But I need the 2 of you, the 3 of you, to do something for me.
What's
Since
that,
you-
friend?
Give me a thing.
Think
Well,
about
since
it.
you effectively killed me and ripped my family and my life away from me,
Mm.
don't mean to make it sound so harsh, but it is. You need to keep an eye on my family. You're going to live forever,
Move over.
so no matter what, you're going to keep an eye on them. You're going to protect them, make sure they're safe.
I'm going to put a hand on
Mhm.
his shoulder and I'm going to say, I will make it my life's or unlife's goal to always keep your family safe as if they were my own.
Got faith in the 3 of you.
They'll be fine, I'm sure. What are you gonna
Okay.
do?
Well, first I'm going to go
Gonna
make
go
sure
hunt
these
werewolves.
werewolves aren't going to hurt my family anymore. I'm going to make them think that I'm Ebenezer. Put them on a wild dog chase. Then I'm probably going to have to put some dogs down, hopefully. Maybe one day I'll return, but I doubt it.
Becomes the most prolific vampire hunter of werewolves that ever was.
Get like a silver bear trap.
Ooh, ouch.
You really like
I don't know,
bear
the cannon
traps.
seemed pretty damn effective.
Every time people talk about hunting big animals, bear trap is what they say. That's the one thing that I know.
I'm firmly in the camp cannon. Like that worked shockingly
ca-
well.
It's
How
canon.
can you
Mhm.
carry that around though?
You can't really.
A
Yeah.
wagon.
Put it on its own little cart.
Some kindred can get strong enough to do it.
It's true.
Be
Canon
a
does
long-term goal.
typically does take at least 3 to 4 people do operate normally.
We're not
Or
people.
one Jilon.
Jilon could do it.
Oh god, I just imagine Jilon using celerity to load and fire and reload a cannon all in like a split second.
It'd be
Mhm.
like a Bugs Bunny thing where he's just
Yeah.
moving around it and blur.
So, well, I'll be leaving, but make sure you keep to your words.
We will.
Stay in touch.
And with that, he starts to walk away, and as he does, we close out this session. So yeah, thank you all for joining us on this special Origins. Instead of a historical one shot, we call it an Origin one shot. It's like the X-Men Origin movies, but
Better in
not as
every
bad.
way.
We learned that John Thomas is the least terrible of the group.
Sorry.
I'm just saying the evidence that we have.
Oh, and between now and in the modern times, things change between the dynamic. Lucinda is no longer talked about. Person non grata. Went down a far different path. Ebenezer has become the more mature, calm person. John Thomas has a reputation.
I like that things happened in this that speak to like things that, you know, we know about the characters in the
Mhm.
future. And it was entirely unintentional for the most part,
Mhm.
which was amazing.
But with so
Flawless.
very nice. So until next time on our regularly scheduled Baltimore by Night. Hope you all had a bloody good time.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.